Welcome to the Google Partners Specialist Challenge. My name is Benjamin Mangold. I'm the co-founder at LoveStarter. Very warm welcome. So what we're covering today, we're covering the video advertising exam topics. So in today's agenda, we'll begin with an overview of video advertising before moving into campaign creation as well as managing campaigns. Then we'll look at both measurement and optimization for our video advertising campaigns. I've included some practice questions along the way to give you a bit of a feel for the types of questions you will be asked in the exam, so you can test yourself as we travel along. There's also time at the end of the session to answer your questions, so if you do have a question, please do plug it into the chat panel, and we have some time at the end to run through your questions. So you can ask them whenever you want, and they'll go through them at the end of the session. So let's jump in and get started. So first off, a quick overview of advertising on YouTube. So first off, YouTube has really massive reach. So YouTube has over 1 billion users, and this actually reaches almost 1/3 of all people on the internet. So really great coverage for our clients. Also, hundreds of millions of hours are watched every day on YouTube, so lots of content is being consumed as people are on YouTube. YouTube has also been localized in over 88 countries, so it's also appropriate for different geographic targets and different language targeting as well. A couple of points just when it comes to YouTube and mobile. So I find this one really interesting. More than half of views on YouTube actually come from mobile devices. So lots and lots of people using their mobile to consume video content on YouTube. The other one that I actually find even more interesting is this one, and that's that YouTube actually reaches more 18 to 49-year-olds than any US cable network. So you can sort of think of YouTube as like, the new TV channel of today, really. And the other thing that's super interesting, totally off topic, but the new YouTube TV coming to the US very soon is super exciting. So actually having cable networks through YouTube as well. So when it comes to the video advertising exam, it's super important that we go through the video ad formats that are available. So just starting out at the very top level, there's 2 core formats that are important to understand for the exam itself. So first off, where they're spending the bulk of the time today is going to be in the TrueView video ad format. So TrueView includes the in-stream skippable ad format, as well as the TrueView video discovery ad formats. I'll go through both of these formats in some more detail in just a moment. Both of these formats we can actually manage through the Google AdWords account for our clients. I also just wanted to include reservation. This is where we can actually target premium placements. For example, if your client wanted to, take over that all-important YouTube homepage, this is actually done on a reservation basis. So this is not actually managed through a Google AdWords account. It's important to cover this topic because you might find some questions on this inside the exam. So we'll run through both the TrueView ad formats and the reservation formats. So let's now jump into some more detail, particularly starting out with the TrueView format. So here we can see TrueView in-stream, which I just mentioned. So the in-stream format is the skippable ad format, and you'll actually find this on the YouTube watch pages. So for example, if you go to YouTube and you open up video page, some of these video watch pages will include a skippable ad at the start of the video. So you'll see the countdown for 5 seconds, and then there's the option to skip the ad. So it's important with this that there are some great benefits for our clients. So first off, if someone actually chooses to skip that ad and not watch the ad, then our client isn't charged. So it's actually a really great benefit of the TrueView in-stream format. We'll go through some of those more granular details in just a moment. Just to also highlight, the TrueView in-stream format can also appear on partner websites and apps through the Google Display Network. So that's TrueView in-stream, the skippable ad format. Just included one quick screen grab here. So here the giveaway that it's a TrueView in-stream format is that skip ad button on the right-hand side of this particular video ad playing before we watch the video on the watch page. So next up we have the TrueView video discovery ads, formerly called in display. So the video discovery ad basically allows us to promote our clients' existing content to drive additional views and engagement with their video content and also their channel on YouTube. So the video discovery ads can appear in a couple of places. First off here, I've included an example on desktop. So on the right-hand side in the related video panel, we can actually see the video discovery ads, and let's have a look. So here we can actually see on towards the bottom right hand side here is a video discovery ad. So it's actually encouraging us now to click through and actually watch this particular advertiser's video content within YouTube itself. And we can see might be a little bit small on the screen, but it has an ad label to indicate that it is actually a featured ad on YouTube. So with video discovery, we have the option of showing in the related video panel as we just saw. On top of this, the video discovery ads can also be displayed within the YouTube search results. So as someone's actively searching on YouTube, we can actually encourage people to watch our clients' video content from the search results. So here's a quick example. So here I've done a particular search on YouTube, and at the top we can see we have a particular video from an advertiser being featured as the TrueView video discovery ad format within the YouTube search results. So just to sort of recap and provide a summary of those two formats. So just remember, when it comes to in-stream, the in-stream ad format we've looked at, this appears within the actual player on YouTube watch pages. The video discovery ads, on the other hand, as we've just covered, these appear as we've seen on the search results page on YouTube, as well as in the related videos panel. So super important is this next element around when we're actually charged, when our client actually has to pay for the view. So with in-stream, it's going to depend on the particular length or duration of the video content. So it's going to charge in the in-stream ad format at the 30-second mark, or when someone completes watching that particular video if it is shorter than 30 seconds. Also to highlight, if someone does choose to click on the video to say click through to the client's website or to watch another video, then they'll also be charged. The video discovery ads, a little bit different. It's when someone actually clicks to then engage and watch that piece of video content. So remembering we had the example in the search results page that's featured as a discovery ad. If someone then clicks on that paid result to watch the video content, that's when our client is charged for the video discovery ad format. Also important to highlight with the in-stream and video discovery ads, there's no minimum or maximum video duration for these two formats. So typically with an in-stream one, we're going to be short and sweet with our particular video content, but there is no minimum or maximum for the video duration. Also a newer ad format. I haven't actually seen any questions personally in the exam on this one, but you never know, they might pop up, so I've included this one. These are the newer bumper ad formats. They're super short video ads, and they're specifically designed to increase brand awareness. So they need to be super short, so videos need to be 6 seconds or less in order to be a bumper video ad. And these bumper ads will either play before, during, or after another video on that watch page. And this is actually a non-skippable ad format. So just in case you do see a question popping up in the exam about bumper ads, just remember they're super short, so 6 seconds or less, and they're a non-skippable ad format for YouTube. Okay, so I also mentioned the reservation, the premium placement on YouTube. So this is where we actually target ads to the homepage, so the homepage masthead of YouTube. This can be on desktop, it can be on mobile or tablet devices, as well as the YouTube mobile apps on iOS and Android devices. Now, super important with this premium placement, it is purchased on a reservation basis. So we can't actually sort of self-service this through the Google AdWords interface. So we'll go through this in some more detail as we travel through, but basically just remember the masthead is that premium placement, the YouTube homepage, and we'll need to go to a Google sales representative to book this placement. Okay, so when it comes to our video advertising options, it's important to highlight that we have a number of different ways to reach potential customers for our clients. So we have a full spectrum of flexible targeting options. If you have joined us, for example, for the fundamentals live stream, then some of these will be familiar, hopefully, to you. And also, if you are already running display campaigns, then these may be familiar as well. We're not going to dive into these into a lot of detail. We're just going to quickly travel through them. So if you are interested in learning more detail about the targeting options, I do encourage you to tune into the display exam live stream where we'll actually be going through the targeting for display in some more detail. So basically, with YouTube, we have these different flexible targeting options available to us. We can do keyword contextual targeting. We can do demographics. So for example, we can do targeting based on age or gender. We can do topic targeting. We can do affinity audiences, custom affinity audiences, in-market audiences, as well as remarketing, which we'll be talking more about as we travel through today, in particular around video. So basically, we have a range of different targeting options that we can use with the ads that we're displaying on YouTube. So where do we find these? So we can actually create our video campaign inside the Google AdWords interface. So we can come into campaigns and might be a little bit small, but basically on the right-hand column here, I've got my different campaigns listed out and I've selected my video campaign type. The giveaway is the little sort of camera icon on the folder structure there. So basically I can come into my video campaign and then across the tabs I'm going to see video targeting towards the center here, and under the video targeting tab, once I've selected that, I can see all of those different targeting options I've just covered. So we can see we have demographics, interest, remarketing, placements, topics, as well as the keyword options available for our video campaign. So you can choose to have more granular targeting if you choose with your video campaigns, but Google does recommend starting out broadly before you narrow down, because as you actually narrow your targeting with a video campaign, it basically means you're increasing the level of competition, which can then mean you need to be spending more to reach the audience for your client. But we do have this range of different video targeting options available within the video campaign itself. Okay, so now that we've covered some foundations around video advertising and importantly, the benefits of running YouTube ads, that massive reach that we've seen, as well as some of the different targeting options in the ad formats, let's now run through our practice questions for this section of the content. Okay, so feel free to test yourself. If you're super keen, plug it into the chat panel, or also just write it down quickly on your laptop or on a notepad as well. Okay, so the first question, what's required to set up a video campaign inside Google AdWords? A, conversion optimizer. B, flexible bidding strategy for the particular campaign. C, a YouTube video. Or D, a minimum daily budget of $50. So what's required to set up a video campaign? What do you think? A, conversion optimizer. B, flexible bidding strategy for the campaign. C, a YouTube video. Or D, the minimum daily budget of $50. So lock in your answer. And let's take a look. So yeah, really importantly, we do need to actually have video on YouTube already. So that is absolutely required in order to set up and get a video campaign up and running. So a little extra tip here is, once the video is actually uploaded, for example, into our client's YouTube channel, the video needs to be either public or unlisted. So it needs to be available as someone browses to that video. So it can't be a private video. So it needs to either be public or unlisted, but not private, in order to set up your video campaign. Okay, so our next practice question, where can video ads be displayed? A, YouTube and the search network. B, YouTube and the display network. C, just on YouTube. Or D, YouTube and video partner sites. So where can video ads be displayed? A, YouTube and search network. B, YouTube and display network. C, YouTube only. Or D, YouTube and video partners. Lock in your answer. And let's have a look. So the answer for this one is actually B. So YouTube and the Google Display Network. So just remember that, yes, probably we're going to be targeting YouTube, but we also have the flexibility of having these video ads run across sites on the Google Display Network. So B is the correct answer for this practice question. Next up, when setting up targeting for video ads, it's most effective to A, select a maximum of 3 targets, B, select at least 5 targets, C, use broad targeting, or D, use narrow targeting. So when setting up targeting for video ads, it's most effective to A, select a maximum of 3 targets, B, at least 5 targets, C, broad targeting, or D, narrow targeting. So lock in your answer, and the correct answer for this one is C. So I mentioned that really Google recommends broad targeting as we start out because it's going to give us the maximum coverage, and it's going to mean we're competing with less people. So as we add more targets, it becomes more competitive in that particular space. So the correct answer for this one would be C, to use broad targeting as we're setting up our video ads. Next practice question for you. So video campaigns allow you to bid based on CPV, cost per view. What do you think, true or false? Video campaigns allow you to bid on CPV, cost per view, true or false? And the answer to this one is true. So with our video campaigns, we're not bidding on a click, we're bidding on a view of that particular piece of video content. So the answer for this question is true. Next question, what is the maximum length of a TrueView video ad? A, 30 seconds, B, 1 minute, C, there isn't a limit, or D, 10 minutes. So what's the maximum length of a TrueView video ad? 30 seconds, 1 minute, there isn't a limit, or 10 minutes. And the correct answer for this one is C. So I mentioned there's no minimum or maximum for our TrueView video length. So there's some practice questions. We're going to jump into some more in just a moment once we've traveled through some more content. I just want to also highlight, I can see there's some questions coming in, which is fantastic. If you do have a question, feel free to plug it into the chat panel on the right-hand side, and we'll have time after we've completed all the content to run through your questions as well. So feel free to plug them in. I can see them coming in, and that's great. So now I did mention at the start that we have the TrueView ad formats, which we can self-service through Google AdWords, as well as reservation or the premium placements on YouTube. Now, importantly, this is being covered because we might have some questions on this in the exam, even if you're not necessarily managing this for clients. So let's have a look at reserved placements on YouTube. So as I mentioned, they're the premium placements like the YouTube homepage. It's important to understand with reservation campaigns, there's a minimum spend requirement, and these are actually booked directly through a sales representative at Google. So we're not going through AdWords, we're going through a sales representative to book that premium placement on the YouTube homepage. With reservation campaigns, it's actually based on a fixed CPD or cost per day. So we have a minimum commitment for the day. And basically this allows us to target, for example, the desktop custom masthead. So on the YouTube homepage, we can also do desktop universal video mastheads that optionally expand. So for example, if you head to YouTube, lots of cars being advertised on YouTube, big telcos, that sort of thing, and some of them are expandable universal mastheads. Also, for those who joined us last week, we talked about mobile, and we do have the option of the mobile video masthead. So the mobile video masthead on YouTube allows you to display in that premium placement on tablets, mobile devices, and this is across m.youtube.com. So this is if you're in a browser on your mobile device, you'll actually find you're on the mobile version of YouTube, m.youtube.com, as well as the YouTube Android and iOS apps. So just one quick example, I mentioned cars, so here we can see cars, and this particular advertiser has an actual YouTube video embedded within the content as well. So again, this is a premium placement. Just remember, this is the homepage masthead, and it's booked through a Google sales representative. Okay, so I've included a glossary of some different terms, super importantly because you may actually find these popping up inside the exam. So I've tried to include the most important ones in today's live stream. So let's go through these. Some of these might be familiar, some of these might be new as well. These are all specifically for our video campaigns, of course. So first off, we have average view frequency. So you might have a question on this in the exam. Basically, the average view frequency is the average number of times people have viewed one of your clients' video ads. So basically, it's a calculation, and what it means is, I've got a little example here. So what we have is we have 4 different users on YouTube that have viewed different videos from our clients. So In this particular case, we can see we have 4 users. The first user viewed 2 videos, the second user viewed a single video, the third user 3 videos, and the fourth user 2 videos. So basically what we're doing is we're taking the total number of views. So in this particular case, we tally them all up and we have 8 views. And then so we have 8 views divided by the number of users. So in this instance, it's 8 divided by 4, which gives us an average view frequency of 2. So super simple example there, but basically it's views divided by users gives you the average view frequency, which tells us on average each user watching our client's video ads is seeing it 2 times. Next up, we have the view rate. So this is a bit, I suppose, like the click-through rate, but for our video campaigns. It's basically views divided by impressions. So just remember for search campaigns, our click-through rate is clicks divided by impressions. View rate, very similar, but this time for video. So views divided by impressions. And the impressions from our TrueView video discovery ads are also included in this calculation. So, quick example here. So we've just launched a video campaign. We've received 10 views and 200 impressions, which means we have a view rate of 0.05 or a 5% view rate in this particular instance. It is important to highlight here that the view rate is typically going to be lower than what you're going to find on potentially some of the keywords from your search campaign. So don't worry, it's not a sort of a negative thing. You're simply going to have a different metric because it is just that. It's totally different. It's not that we're running a search campaign. It's a video campaign. This one is important as well for the exam, earned views. So earned views are basically like the free bonus that we receive from our video campaigns. So basically an earned view is when a viewer watches your paid video ad and then goes on to watch another video from your client's channel as a free view. So basically here we have the scenario, someone's come through, they've seen and watched one of our clients' paid video ads on YouTube through the video campaign, and then they've really enjoyed it, right? So they've actually then decided to go through and watch another video on the client's channel, and this would then count as a free view, and this is what we'd actually see inside Google AdWords. It's actually reported as an earned view. So this actually gives you some understanding about the level of engagement beyond that actual initial paid view of the video content. So this can be a good one to report on through to your clients because you're spending a certain amount for the paid views, and then these are additional views on top of that paid ad spend. Companion banner. So you may again see a question on this inside the exam. Basically, the companion banner is a clickable image banner that accompanies a TrueView in-stream ad. So if you are running the TrueView in-stream format, remember that's the skippable ad format, and it plays within the YouTube watch page itself. So before someone's watching potentially the content on that watch page. And basically if we're running that ad, then we can also have a companion banner run alongside. So it basically shows up in the top right-hand corner. So for example, above the related video panel on desktop. And we can choose from either an image, which is 300 by 60 pixels, so 300 wide, 60 high, or the automated video wall companion banner. So you can choose either your own custom image or the video wall companion banner. The video wall basically tiles a number of different videos from your client's YouTube channel automatically to encourage people to actually watch additional content from your client. And just to highlight, for example, you can choose to direct people through to your client's website or through to their YouTube channel. And just to note that a click on the companion banner does actually count as a view of the ad. So that would incur a cost if someone does choose to click on the companion banner. So I've included an example here. So this would be an example of an image-based companion banner, and we can see it there on the top right-hand side. So this is basically aligned with the TrueView in-stream ad that's appearing on the left. It then appears along with that ad on the top right-hand corner of the video watch page in this instance. Okay, so next up, frequency capping. So this is important for our video campaigns. This is also really good if you are going to actually go on and sit the display display exam as well. So frequency capping. So frequency capping basically allows us to set a limit on the number of impressions for an individual user. These can be set at the day level. So you could say, I want this user to see no more than 3 video ads per day. We can set it per week or per month. And only viewable impressions count towards the frequency cap. So the actual, the video ad needs to appear at least 50% on screen for it to count. Also importantly, so now moving on, so we've covered some really important sort of key terminology to be aware of in terms of managing your campaigns, as well as, of course, being able to pass the video advertising exam. So now importantly again, especially for the exam, is the ad approval process when it comes to our video content in our video campaigns. So basically, how does the ad approval process work? So first off, all of our ads, doesn't matter if it's a video campaign or whatever it is, any campaign, all ads are automatically reviewed when they're created or edited inside Google AdWords. Now, this is super important, this next point. For the exam, I've certainly seen a question on this. Ads are generally reviewed within 1 business day. So if you have a question about, how long does the ad approval process normally take? The answer is 1 business day. I actually, see it happening a lot quicker than that, but it can take a business day to occur. All of the elements of the ads are reviewed. So super importantly, this does include both the headline, the description, if we're using keyword targeting, for example, and as well as the website or app that's being advertised. So all of the elements are actually being reviewed. Some ads, when it comes to our video campaigns, are actually eligible to run while this review process happens. So there'll be this automatic review that occurs, and if the system thinks that, hey, this looks okay, no major sort of red flags, we're going to let it run, but only at a limited sort of level while the full review takes place. So some ads will actually become eligible. So you'll actually see this. So I've got an example in just a moment, but basically, you'll see either one of these 2 statuses when you first plug in the video ad. So the first option is you'll see under review inside the Google AdWords interface. And basically what this is telling us is that for whatever reason, this particular video ad is going to go for the full review. So basically the ad will not run until that full review and approval takes place. We may see though eligible, which means that the ads can run on certain pages while it's actually being reviewed. So you'll either see under review, which means it's not running, or eligible, which means it's running on certain pages. So let's have a look here. So here, basically what we can see in this example, I have 2 particular video ads at the top. The first one's been fully approved, so that means it's running everywhere. The second one down here says it's under review, which means it's going to go through that process before we actually see the ad running through YouTube as well as the Google Display network. So do bear that in mind, and also don't forget you'll also see eligible potentially in the ads tab within your video campaign, which is running on a selection of pages through the network. Another great advantage of running our video campaigns is we do have this option. So this is the call to action overlay, which is an additional option that becomes available when we're actually promoting video through a video campaign. And so what is a call to action overlay? Well, basically it shows more information, includes a link along with that particular piece of video content. It's actually compatible with all the types of TrueView ads. So remember, we've got the in-stream and the video discovery ads, and there's no additional charge for creating the call to action overlay. It's displayed across YouTube, and importantly here, I've just highlighted just to make note of that once you've actually created your call to action overlay, because it is being promoted as an ad format, it will also run even if that video is not being advertised. So if someone actually comes organically to watch that video, the overlay will still be included with that piece of video content. So basically, let's have a look at how we set this up. So remembering that the video does need to be promoted, and then once it is promoted, when we actually go in to edit the particular information for our YouTube video, we'll see basically on the left-hand side, we'll see like, the settings, the advanced settings, and then coming across, we'll see the call to action overlay option. And so you can click on this, and then this allows us to then add in these details. So we basically add in like a headline or a call to action that goes along with the video content. You also, on the bottom left-hand corner here, might be a little bit small, you do have the option to upload a square tile, so 74 pixels by 74. So you can also include a little image if you choose. And then you can choose to include the display URL and where you actually want to send people to as they click on this particular headline or call to action within the YouTube content itself. So you might be wondering, what does this look like? It looks a little bit like this. So on the bottom left-hand side here, we can see the call to action overlay is then placed on top of the video ad format. So that's just one more thing to be aware of when it comes to the exam. There's the call to action overlay, just for those videos that we are promoting through Google AdWords. Okay, so next up, remarketing with YouTube. So you may be familiar with remarketing for display. This is basically where we have ads that are then tailored and targeted to people who've, say, already engaged with our client's website. And we can actually do remarketing through our YouTube content as well. So we actually have two options. So with our ads running on YouTube through the video campaign type, we can actually make use of our website remarketing. So we can create remarketing from our website to then add to the TrueView campaign. So for example, we could say if someone they just go to our client's website, we can add them to a remarketing list and then add that remarketing target to our video campaign to then display our TrueView ads to those individuals. So that's certainly the more traditional option, and that is available with our video campaigns running through YouTube. The other option that we also have, though, super important to be aware of, is we can also create remarketing based on what's actually happening in YouTube itself. So we can actually create a remarketing list based on particular engagements occurring within YouTube, and these can then be added into a TrueView campaign. So one example is here, we may say want to display a particular piece of video content to people that are already following our client's channel on YouTube. So it would allow us through remarketing to have a very precise ad delivered to those particular individuals based on that behavior. The other thing to note with the remarketing options we'll look at in just a moment is that once we've created our remarketing from YouTube, we can also add these not just to our video campaigns, but we can also add these into our display campaigns. So for example, if we do have a traditional display campaign running through the Google Display Network, so say maybe image ad formats, we can then actually add remarketing details or that remarketing list through to that display campaign as well. So we've got the best of both worlds. So what do we do? How do we do this? So basically, all of remarketing is set up in the shared library. So if you jump into Google AdWords, if you jump into the account for your client, you'll actually find the shared library. It's actually going to be on the bottom left-hand corner in the Campaigns tab. So head into the AdWords account, head into Campaigns, bottom left-hand corner shared library. And once you've clicked on that, then you'll be on a screen similar to this one. Basically, in the left-hand panel under shared library, now that we've clicked through, we have audiences, and this is where we create and manage all of our different remarketing audiences inside Google AdWords. Just to note, this will of course include any existing remarketing audiences that have already been configured, as well as any that have already been imported from Google Analytics as well. So here I'm going to now come through, and on the drop down, so if you click on Add Remarketing List within the Audiences panel within the shared library, you'll see all the different options for remarketing. So starting at the top, just quickly, you have the traditional website visitor remarketing. We can do mobile app user remarketing, and we also have the customer emails, another one where we actually, totally separate topic, but where we upload a list of email addresses to remarket to. And then just on the bottom here, I've highlighted, might be a little bit small in the stream, but click on Add New Remarketing List. Right down the bottom, it has YouTube users. So you want to select on this option here. And once you've selected the YouTube users remarketing list option, our panel opens here. So basically at the very top, we can configure the type of remarketing list we want for our YouTube channel. The second option as you travel down here is actually selecting the particular YouTube channel. So if for whatever reason you've actually linked the AdWords account to multiple YouTube channels, just make sure you select the correct YouTube channel. You can then name the remarketing list. You can set the membership duration, so how long each user should be included within the remarketing list. And open, you probably want as the status to actually make sure that you're collecting people into this remarketing list. And then just down the very bottom here, the initial list size, you can, if you choose, and you probably want to, automatically include people from the last 30 days of historical data. So we have these options. So we travel through this. Just importantly, at the top, I wanted to go through in some detail on the different list types. You can actually configure for your clients from the interactions occurring on YouTube itself. So this might be a little bit small, so I'll just travel through this briefly. Basically, we have a range of options based on the different types of engagements happening on our clients' videos, video content, and on their channel. So first off, we can say, create a remarketing list based on people who viewed any piece of video content from our client's channel. We can create remarketing based on visiting the channel page itself, viewing any video as an ad from the channel, liked any video content, commented, shared any video content, subscribed to the channel. That was the example I mentioned previously. Or you can even choose to create remarketing lists based on people viewing particular videos, either just generally or specifically as an ad format. So we have this range of options that are available to us to create remarketing lists based on the interactions occurring within YouTube itself, right within our Google AdWords accounts for our clients. So we can just basically travel through and then you can create the list. So some tips around these remarketing options. We can use them to help increase engagement for our clients. So these are just some initial sort of starting points, some ideas to get you thinking. So for example, we could just increase engagement by remarketing to people who viewed any video from the channel, visited the channel page, viewed the video as an ad from the channel, or commented. These would probably be my top recommendations for driving engagement. I'd probably also recommend starting more broadly rather than going really, really specific as you begin creating the remarketing list, because you have to sort of remember that balance about how much time it's going to take to create that really specific remarketing list, how many people are going to be on that list, and then what you're actually going to present to those users as they're traveling through YouTube. Okay, so now that we've covered our next section of content, we have some more practice questions. So again, feel free to test yourself as we travel through these questions, see how you go. So we have some questions we're going through. I can also see lots of people asking questions in the chat, which is fantastic. We'll have some time at the end of the session to run through your questions as well. So let's kick off and start with our practice questions here. So first off, when a masthead is booked, what is billing based on? So when a masthead is booked, what is billing based on? A, clicks, B, views, C, impressions, or D, a flat fee? What do you think? Lock in your answer. When is a masthead? What's the billing based on when we're booking this masthead? A, clicks, views, impressions, or a flat fee? Lock in your answer. Yeah, we definitely covered this, so hopefully we've all got this one right. It's a flat fee, and remember, it is reservation-based. It's booked through a Google sales representative. So next up, which of the following remarketing lists can be used for a video campaign? A, people who skipped TrueView in-stream ads. B, people viewing your Google My Business listing. C, people who watch videos from the advertiser's YouTube channel. Or D, all of these options are correct. Which of the following remarketing lists can be used for video campaigns? A, people who skipped a TrueView ad. B, people viewing a Google My Business listing. C, people who watch videos from an advertiser's YouTube channel. Or D, all of these options are correct. What do you think? Lock in your answer. And the correct answer is here, C, people who watch videos from the advertiser's YouTube channel. So just to make a note here, as you're going through the exam, my tip is definitely use sort of elimination as a way to help you find the correct answer within a question in the exam. So first off, as we traveled through, people who skipped the TrueView in-stream ad, we didn't have an option to create like a remarketing list based on people skipping an ad. So that rules out A. B just sounds super strange. I mean, it would be awesome if we could do that sort of remarketing, but it's not available at all, so that rules out B. And because we've ruled out A and B, that also rules out D, of course, which leaves C as the best possible answer from the available options here. So next practice question for you. What does linking AdWords and YouTube accounts allow you to do? So linking AdWords and YouTube, what does it allow us to do? A, create a remarketing list. B, create a call to action, a CTA overlay. C, access additional video metrics. Or D, all of these options are correct. So what does linking AdWords and YouTube accounts allow us to do? A, create remarketing lists. B, create a call to action overlay. C, access additional video metrics. Or D, all of these options are correct. What do you think? Lock in your answer. The correct one for this one is actually D. All of these options are correct. So super important. This might have been a little bit tricky, but basically in order to do the things that we've talked about, like creating the remarketing list, doing the call to action overlays, we do actually need to link AdWords to the YouTube account for our client. And once that's done, we're actually going to be able to make use of these different options. So in this instance, D, all of these options are correct. Next question for us. Masthead allows you to reserve A, particular channels, B, the YouTube homepage, C, specific videos, or D, all of these options are correct. What do you think? Masthead allows you to reserve particular channels, YouTube homepage, specific videos, or all of these options are correct. Lock in your answer. And for this one, the masthead is that YouTube homepage, that premium placement. Next question for us, so this is a fill in the blank. So blank are optional clickable thumbnail images that appear with TrueView in-stream ads on YouTube. So blank are optional clickable thumbnail images that appear with TrueView in-stream ads on YouTube. What do you think? A, YouTube masthead, B, display ads, C, TrueView in-display ads, or D, companion banners. What do you think is correct? A, B, C, or D? Lock in your answer, and it was D. So this was one of those important terms we covered off. The companion banner is optional. It's a clickable thumbnail image that then appears on the top right-hand corner as someone's viewed your in-stream ad. And also remember, you have the option of automatically compiling videos as well. So you can go with the image or the video option for the companion banners for our video campaigns. Okay, so now on to our final section of content. So we're going to be covering just some key things around measurement and optimization. So we'll go through our content. I've got some more practice questions for you, and then I can see there's lots and lots of questions. So if you do have a question, plug it in. I'll try and make a little bit more time if I can at the end to run through your questions. So let's jump back into our content, measuring our video ads. So basically we can actually come into the AdWords interface, and there's going to be a whole bunch of data here available to us for our video campaigns and our video ads. So one tip here is we can actually come into the video campaign and we can click on video targeting. So I've clicked on video targeting in the video campaign. I've then selected placements, and then I've selected the where ads were shown tab. This can provide some valuable insights because what it actually does is it shows you all the different places where your client's ads have been placed to receive views of your client's video content. And then you can use this to actually help make decisions about where those placements are working or potentially not working for your client. So we can actually see where the ads are placed for our video campaigns. This one is super important for a couple of reasons. First, it could be in the exam, but secondly, it also shows us sort of a snapshot when it comes to engagement with our video content that we're advertising on YouTube. So basically these percentages show us the percentage of people who made it to 25% through the video, halfway or 50% through the video, 75% through the video, and then 100% through the video. So you will of course see drop off at particular points. Some of us have very short attention spans, so we're potentially not going to travel all the way to the very end of the video content. But this is helpful because it allows us to identify the key areas where people are potentially dropping off in the video content. This can help us, for example, to make decisions about how we're going to create new videos moving forward. And this is also great if you do have more than one video. My example just has one video, but if you have 2 different videos, you can then actually see which one is driving higher levels of engagement to those particular sections of the video content. So these are called the quartiles. So do keep a note, quartiles 25, 50, 75, and 100% through the video content that we're advertising on through the video campaigns. And you can find this right within, if you actually travel into the video campaign, click on the ads tab and then you'll see this listed as the metrics available for the video. If you don't see it, just click on columns and customize the columns. Just covering a couple of key things, just very top level around YouTube analytics. You might have a couple of very top level questions on YouTube analytics inside the exam. Just basically remember that YouTube analytics is available through YouTube itself, and this can provide some really rich insights, even to a deeper level than what we just saw, for example, with the quartiles. So some basic things. So first off, you can actually come in and you'll find all the analytics for your clients' video content. There's a whole range of different reports. I'm not going to go through the reports today, but definitely jump in and have a look for your clients' content, or even your own content, of course. Basically, you can see all the different video content. You can see what content's being engaged with, and right through to some really interesting things. So here we can actually do different breakdowns. So we can actually, inside YouTube analytics, do demographic breakdowns. For example, here I can look at the breakdown of male to female. So in this particular case, the video content skewed to the male demographic. We can also see the particular age bracket. So in this particular instance, skewed to the 25 to 34 year old age bracket. So we can actually then potentially make use of this to inform our strategies when it comes to the video ads that we're managing for our clients as well. So this is going to include all your traffic, but potential insights that you can apply to the video ads as well. You can also see where that video content is actually being viewed. So we can see, for example, if it's being embedded on an external website, if people are coming in off YouTube search, or if it's being seen from a suggested video, so the related video panel on YouTube as well. So we get to not just see, who's engaging with it, but we can see where they're actually engaging with that video content as well. This one is awesome, especially if you're, if you're going to sort of be providing insights for your clients around the actual video content itself. So this actually shows you the level of engagement through the duration of the piece of video content. So you can actually see, in this example, there is a tapering off, which you'd probably expect people are going to click off as they travel through, but there's no major dip. So you can actually go through this and look at the different pieces of video content for your client and look for ones that maybe have an increase in engagement or a drop in engagement. And again, this can be used to actually inform the strategy for the videos that are going to be created moving forward for your client. So definitely check out this one as well. So it gives us the average view duration, but also where people are actually dropping off. The other thing just to note in this example is, because this video has been promoted as a TrueView in-stream format, that green line is actually for our TrueView in-stream format as well. So you actually get the breakdown. Again, this is one of the benefits of actually linking AdWords and YouTube together. Okay, so now that we've covered measurement and sort of brief chat about some optimization techniques that we can apply, I have some practice questions for you. So we're going to run through this final set of practice questions, and then I can see there's lots of questions, so we'll have time to travel through your questions as well. So if you do have a question that you'd like to ask, feel free to plug it in now. Now's the perfect time just to make sure I see it as we come to your questions in just a moment. So let's now jump into the practice questions. So first question, what is the view-through rate, VTR, of a campaign that has received 10,000 impressions, 900 views, and 200 subscribers? So this is a great example of why it can be handy to have your calculator, maybe on your phone open for the exam. You're just going to have to calculate it, right? So basically, we need to calculate this out. So just remembering that the view-through rate is very similar to the click-through rate that we'd see for our search ads. So basically, we're going to divide views by impressions, and the 200 subscribers there in the question is just to try and trip you up. So just ignore the 200. So we're basically taking 900 divided by 10,000. So that will give us the correct answer. So in this particular case, the answer would be A, 0.09. So this is just an example where you're gonna have to open up your calculator, unless you're good at math and you just do it in your head. Great, do it that way as well. I think we've answered this one as well. So how is view-through rate or VTR calculated? Just again, remember it's like click-through rate, but for our video ads. So do we A, divide clicks by views, B, divide views by impressions, C, divide clicks by impressions, or D, divide bid by impressions? So A, B, C, or D. Probably have this one because we just covered it in the last question. Yes, it's B. So we're dividing the views of the video by the impressions. Don't get tripped up because C is the click-through rate, not the view-through rate. Next up, what do earned actions measure? So what do earned actions measure? A, views of ads, B, comments and likes, C, earned views, earned comments, and earned likes, or D, website clicks. So what do earned actions measure? A, B, C, or D? Lock in your answer, and the correct one for this is actually C. So I know that we talked about earned views in particular, but earned actions include other things, including earned comments and earned likes. Just remember, an earned action or an earned view is someone's watched the video content and then they've gone on to perform another action with our clients' video content. So that can be viewing, commenting, or liking that content as well. Next up, where can you find video view duration metrics? So this is actually something we just looked at. Where can we find video view duration metrics? A, in the campaign tab inside Google AdWords. B, in the YouTube channel watch page. C, YouTube analytics. Or D, there are no view duration metrics. So where can we find video view duration metrics? In the campaigns tab, which is A. B, on the YouTube channel watch page. C, YouTube analytics. Or D, there are no view duration metrics at all. So what do you think? Lock in your answer, and it's yes, the YouTube analytics that we just covered. So we can find the full set of view duration metrics inside YouTube analytics itself. So we head off to YouTube and find the analytics section. Okay, so just finally, before we jump into your questions, I can see there's lots of questions, so feel free. We're going to try and travel through as many as we can. If you do have a question you haven't plugged in yet, feel free to plug it in and I'll try and get to it as well. So in terms of exam details for the video advertising exam, so the video advertising exam is 90 minutes, so we have an hour and a half to complete the exam. Less questions compared to some of the other exams, so 74 questions in the video advertising exam. We need to get 80% of these questions correct in order to pass the exam, and once we have passed this exam, it's valid for 12 months like the other exams we'll find inside the Google Partners portal. Okay, so now time to jump to all of your questions. So we've got a little bit of extra time, which is perfect because I know we sort of have run out of time previously, so that's fantastic. Let's jump in and go through your questions. And if you do have a question, plug it in now and hopefully we can get to it. So Jack asks, is it true you can get free clicks when using the 30-second rule? The 30-second rule. So basically, just remember you pay when a viewer watches the 30-second mark or actually interacts with the video, so whichever one comes first. So, potentially if someone views, then like, for example, they can watch those first 5 seconds and skip the ad. Yeah, that's certainly definitely going to be free and won't be charged at all. Anka Shankar asks, what is the minimum spend for buying a reservation campaign? Yeah, so reservation campaigns, Google doesn't sort of have like a public list of like what the particular amounts are. Let's just say it's a lot. It's going to have a lot of zeros at the end. So you will need to talk to a Google sales representative. The cost will vary based on the particular geographic target. So it's basically booked by a country target. So you will need to talk to a Google sales representative, but it's expensive. Michael asks, why is reservation campaigns, even if the exam, if we don't have access to it? Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, Michael. It's just, it's something that obviously Google thinks is important that we're aware of. You won't find like a whole lot of questions in the exam, but you will find a handful, which is why I've included it in the content. Great feedback though. Ivan asks, since in-stream videos must be hosted on YouTube, do the ad views affect the video views? So yeah, really great question, Ivan. So if we have in-stream videos and it has to be hosted on YouTube, does this affect the video views? Yes, it does. So basically the number of views you see on the video will include both organic as well as paid views. So it gives you the total view count when you're looking at the video on YouTube. Ivan asks, is there a way to find out how many likes, shares, subscriptions came specifically from a paid video ad? Yeah, so you can look at the earned views as we just covered. So I think you asked that a little bit earlier in the session. Yeah, earned views. Basically, you'll head into the video campaign inside Google AdWords, look for the earned video, metrics, and just to note, if you don't see them, then you can just modify the columns. So there's lots of different metrics that you can layer in for your video campaigns. Next question is it possible to do demographic targeting with reserved placements? So yes, you will need to again talk to your Google sales representative. Next question is it possible to track post-view interactions in Google Analytics? Yeah, fantastic question. Absolutely. So if you actually, so we've talked, of course, today about linking AdWords and YouTube. You'll also want to link, of course, AdWords to Google Analytics. And what this will actually allow you to see is if you actually head in there, so if you head into Google Analytics, if you head under Acquisition, and then under Acquisition, you'll have the AdWords set of reports. Inside the AdWords set of reports, you'll find the video reports for your video campaigns running inside Google AdWords, and you'll actually see this data available for you there. So you'll actually see data pulled straight out of AdWords, so that would be things like views, impressions, and so forth for your video campaign, and then that will be supplemented with any session data coming off the Google Analytics tracking code. I suppose the one thing to highlight here is that video works very differently to the other types of campaigns. So for example, you're going to see radically different numbers compared to like your search campaign. So you might have thousands of views and maybe only 1 or 2 sessions coming through to your website. So you just need to bear that in mind. It is, of course, going to vary depending on the ad formats and the options that you're using. So for example, if you are trying to drive direct action on the client's website, absolutely encourage you to use the in-stream skippable ad format with the companion banner linking through to the client's website, and also considering the call to action overlay that we've covered as well. So there, and on top of that, cards and so forth to actually drive people through to the client's website. So next up, can you upload a custom thumbnail for the video discovery ads? Yes, so you can upload custom thumbnails for the ads as well. John asks, are there any third-party YouTube ad management platforms that Google recommends? Do you think this is value in using them over the standard YouTube ads interface? As far as I know, Google typically won't recommend third-party products, so Google will probably recommend, if you are at a larger scale, potentially using DoubleClick, which is a Google product, but I haven't seen them recommend anything outside of the Google ecosystem. Shane asks, can we target by customer emails in YouTube? No, not currently, but that's a great feature request there. Jonathan asks, how is YouTube Red impacting audience size? What demographics are paying for the service to avoid ads? Yeah, so as far I haven't seen any sort of public data about YouTube Red. Basically, yeah, I mean, in the end, the ad is only going to appear to people who it's eligible to actually display for. So if someone is using YouTube Red, I should just quickly highlight as well, if you're not familiar with YouTube Red, it's where you subscribe so that you don't see any ads. So if someone's using YouTube Red, they won't see any ads. So if you're advertising for your client, of course, that ad will not be displayed to that particular individual. So you can, you can rest assured that you're not paying for someone that's not going to actually see the ad at all. Yeah, so I haven't seen anything public about the actual sort of impacts on audience size and those sorts of things, Jonathan. Final couple of questions before we wind down. If you do have a final question, feel free to plug it in. A couple more questions. So first off, how can I advertise inside a particular video? So with YouTube, we do have the option of actually using the targeting method. So you can, as we looked at very briefly, you can actually use a managed placement to include ads with a particular piece of video content. You will just have to be aware that the actual person providing the video, the publisher, does have the option not to include ads with their video content on YouTube. So just check to make sure that they are actually running ads with their video content, and then you can actually add that as a managed placement inside inside the video campaign for your YouTube ads. Final question. So if I haven't got to your question, feel free to plug it in on the Google Plus community. So if you've got a burning question that pops up now or maybe following today's session, do plug it in on the Google Plus community. Just search for Google Partners down under. There's lots of friendly people there who are always helping out. So final question is, what can I do for a client that's on a very tight budget and is reluctant to try professional video production? So I mean, I think, there's a huge spectrum of video content on YouTube today. There's everything from like highly, professional videos that are, shot and edited that, can be very, very expensive through to people shooting content on their mobile device. So really, just be careful. I think if you're going to shoot on a mobile, my tips would be make sure you use a tripod, so make sure it's standing and not handheld. And also super important with shooting on a mobile is making sure you have a separate microphone. That can actually improve quality quite significantly. So that'd be my sort of 2 tips. If you do have a client wanting to get into YouTube that is maybe not ready to allocate a whole lot of budget to the particular platform yet. So remember, it's 2 key tips: tripod and separate mic. So that winds up today's session. So a big thanks for all the amazing questions. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next session. I hope lots of you are passing exams. I've seen lots of people on Google Plus passing their exams, which is fantastic for the Specialist Challenge. So I hope to see you in the next sessions. Just to quickly highlight, next week we'll be talking all about search. So next week we'll be covering the search advertising exam. The week after that, we'll be covering display advertising. Definitely if some of these topics like, the different targeting methods have been of interest to you, then do tune back in for the display one where we'll go into more detail about the display advertising options. And then our final session will be on the shopping advertising exam, so running product listing ads through Google. So I hope to see you next week and in the following sessions. A big thank you from myself and everybody at the Google Partners team as well. Thank you, and see you next time.